Black Girl of Jane kind of started out as just a way to talk about my life in a sense as a blog through using quotes from Austen's novels on Facebook. That's kind of how it started. Um, that was my intent. And then over time, and it wasn't really going anywhere, but I didn't also have it as like a movement or a project at the time. It was just my way of using Austen, who I thought was a great novelist and a great observer or commentator about the world, to use her words to kind of be my jumping off point to tell what was happening in my life as a writer and a storyteller. But then in 2020, we had George Floyd. And during that time, with the killing of George Floyd, it became very, I don't want to use a word, but I can't think of another word as trendy, to be very diverse. And also around that same time, Sanditon had just finished premiering on PBS. And I came across on Facebook this conversation about Miss Lamb, whose name is Georgiana on the series, and her discussion of how she felt treated, felt like she was being put on display. And there was a discussion about the pineapple and how people on Twitter and on Facebook were using the pineapple as a symbol as an emoji symbol of, let's bring back the show, let's look at it another season, because they had been rumors that it was going to be canceled. And a wonderful writer by the name of Amanda Prescott wrote about how the pineapple was not cutesy or be some symbol of some romantic, fantasy thing for people who were looking at the show, that it was supposed to really talk about the exploitation, the colonization that happened. And so then I was like, oh, she's right. So I started making comments about it as well. And then it kind of just spurred into me deciding to write about it. And so I wrote an article for Persuasions Online for Jasna, talking about the history of the pineapple and why, if anything, it's not something that should be, just a part of this emoji craze, that there's something to it. And that we have to, as Janeites, really think about how we're using these symbols, such as the pineapple, to invoke some fantasy love for Austen, when really the pineapple is really about the discussion of colonialism the British were doing during that time. And that it's not something to play about, which Amanda got a lot of heat for. I got some heat for, because they were like, oh, you can't tell us what to do with this pineapple. It's just an emoji. We love the show. We love the romance of the show. And the romance of the show is okay. But the symbol of the pineapple was really, I believe, in my opinion, Andrew Davies' way of really talking about the colonization that was occurring, and the fact that they were kind of presenting her as this oddity, as this unique thing to be kind of, show off their wealth and those things like that. So because of that article that I wrote, it kind of shifted my direction of what Black Girl of Jane was, to more on commentating about why are people upset when you see a person of color in a Regency show or a Victorian show or classic literature? Why are you offended when they change a character who has been predominantly displayed as being Eurocentric and now they're a person of color? Why it's okay that a person of color can star in an Austen film or a Regency or a period piece, and why it's not just people who are a Eurocentric background who enjoy those kind of pieces and those kind of books, and that it's okay to be a Black girl or an Asian girl or any kind of girl or male, or non-binary, or anyone, for let's just put all of that label together. Anyone who wants to read and love Jane Austen. Why does it have to appear very exclusive? Why can't it be more inclusive? So that's kind of what starts the ball rolling.